The Mason Comets paying a visit to Fairfield. The 8 and 9 matchup of the first round of the OHSAA state playoffs. I'm Ben Haller alongside my partner Andrew Little. Andrew, what are you excited for in this one?
Yeah, we've got ourselves a GMC rematch. Last time these two teams played, Fairfield took a close one, 27-22. You know, both teams kind of had down regular seasons. Mason finished 4-6, Fairfield 5-4. The winner will face most likely Moeller, the top-seeded team in the region.
So they have been in every game. For Mason now, it's about finishing. And now that
for Mason, one of the biggest things is quarterback consistency. Coming into the game, we didn't know who would take that quarterback role, but we can expect both quarterbacks, Michael Molnar and Larson Brown, to take some snaps from the QB position today, and Mason gets it started with a squib kick. Bouncing around, field at the 20-yard line. Eventually pushed out about the 26, so Fairfield starts their drive after Mason defers from the 26-yard line.
Yeah, and here we're going to get our first look as sophomore standout Talon Fisher, Fairfield's athletic quarterback. 352 all-purpose yards last time these two teams played. They really need to get him going early. He's inconsistent, but when he's on, he's one of the most dangerous players in the conference.
Fisher was the big story last time the Comets and Indians met. 352 all-purpose yards for him in that one, combining rushing and passing. But shotgun formation early, twins to the right. It's going to be a fake handoff and kept it stuffed right out of the line of scrimmage. A good start for the Comets.
Yeah, and we're going to expect to see a lot of RPOs tonight from Fisher. There, the big Comet linebackers, Caden Evans and Jake Bates, weren't fooled. Hit him behind the line.
just hitting over 50, you've got to make him throw the ball down the field.
No gain on the first run from Fisher.
To create second and third and long opportunities.
He's got a few wins. It's going to be a trips formation on the left. Formation, an early fumble. Fisher going to be able to recover. Fall on it. He drops it again. We're going to see what the call is. I believe it's going to stay with Fairfield. So Fairfield fortunate to keep the ball. Or are they? Mason defense pointed the other way. Referee still surveying. And it will stay with the Indians. It's going to be third and a long play for Fairfield. Early, two good plays for Mason.
Yeah, near disaster there for Fairfield. Fisher botches the snap. It looks like he had a hold of it, but then lost it again. Luckily, a Fairfield body was able to get on it.
So a couple of two miscues early for Talon Fisher. Be shotgun formation again. Twins to both sides. It's going to be a handoff, a safe play to Jackson, getting to the 26-yard line. And then a third and long. Mason forcing Fairfield to punt on their first drive.
Yeah, that run just going to give the Indians a little bit more room to punt. Salvaging what could have been a very bad start.
The punting's coming from none other than, you guessed it, Talon Fisher. He does it all for Fairfield, including punting. A weird punt that takes a good bounce. Rolling all the way out of bounds. Mason will start their drive from the 29-yard line. We'll see what quarterback comes out first.
Yeah, and there, not a great start for Talon Fisher. We talked about the inconsistency of the sophomore. They're going to need him to be playing his best tonight, and that's not how you want to start it off. But like you said, Ben, we'll see who comes out under center for the Comets.
It looks like that quarterback will be Larson Brown, the junior. Our player to watch coming in. He's second in the GMC in passing yards with over 1,300, and he's got Nick Sailors, the star junior running back, to his right. Shotgun formation. This is going to be a handoff to Sailors, trying to find the outside, but Fairfield's edge rush is there. No gain for Nick Sailors.
And Sailors, he's been dealing with a lingering foot injury the past couple weeks. Tonight, expected to see a lot of carries, and his first carry greeted by a ton of Indian defenders.
It's going to be a shotgun formation once again. Sailors this time behind him. Twins to the right. Saeed Garnett in motion, heading the wrong way. It'll be a handoff once again. Saylor picking the other side. A few more yards than last play, but nothing much. It'll be a 3rd and long for the Comets.
And a safe couple of plays to open off the drive here, but now forcing 3rd and long. We'll see if Larson Brown takes a shot downfield here, or if they opt to remain conservative. So far, the Indians have squashed every attempt to run the ball.
You wonder now if Mason's going to go with a safe play on 3rd and long like Fairfield did. It is a better situation. 3rd and 7 from their own 33. Kobe Lewis, the senior wide receiver, in motion. Shotgun snap. Brown's got a lot of time, looking right off the heads of a defender for Fairfield. Really looked like no Comet receiver was in the area, but 2 straight 3-and-outs to start this one.
And that pass went right off the hands of safety Trent Stevenson. Brown lucky to not have his first pass intercepted, and now a punt for the Comets. We're going to see one of their quarterbacks, Michael Molnar. He's been a great punter this year, penning teams back all season long.
He's someone who does it all. Molnar takes the long snap, takes his time with the punt. He does that a lot at a nice high drive. Getting a lucky bounce. Molnar almost pinning Fairfield inside the 10. Indians will start their drive from the 14-yard line. Talon Fisher's going to get a second chance.
Yeah, now that's a good way. If you want to contain Talon Fisher, pin him back deep into his own territory and make him beat you with his arm.
So how much do you alter that game plan? How much do you try to do some new stuff? Because a sophomore quarterback for Fairfield, how much do you want to...
Fairfield's offense back onto the field. Looking with twins formation on both sides. Shotgun for Fisher. His running back behind him, Jordan Jackson. It's going to be a handoff to Jackson, running all the way for a first down and a little more. That's the first play for positive gain that Fairfield's had so far.
And maybe the Indians need to run the ball a little bit more with their running back. That's a great way to take the pressure off your young QB. So far, the Comets don't have an answer.
So trips to the right now, coming up for Talon Fisher, one receiver to his left. Mason with a cover-heavy formation. It's going to be a handoff to the right side. Jordan Jackson's got a lot of room, rushing all the way past the 40-yard line for a first down. Jordan Jackson, couple runs in a row for first downs.
Yeah, and Jackson showed off his explosiveness there. Just one cut and he was gone. Comets defense couldn't adjust in time. Finally brought down by junior DB Sean Kruckenberg.
Fairfield's looking at twins on the right now. Mason loading the box a little more this play. At least they're going to start in motion. That rushing on the right side and stuffed a little past the line. Nate Hanna, the receiver, who also has a few carries on the year.
There are a bunch of Comet defenders. Met the ball carrier there, including Jake Bates and Caden Evans, the star linebackers, led the GMC in tackles this year. Comet defense has been counting on them all year, especially Evans, their senior leader and captain, one of our players to watch.
2nd and 9 coming out for the Fairfield Indians. Shotgun snap over on the right side, rolling right, Talon Fisher, the lefty. Pushing it downfield, he's got his receiver. No room, no Comet in front. For Christian Jackson, who's going to get Fairfield their first 6 points of the game, and a must-win game heading forward for the Mason Comets. The second drive, led up a touchdown to Christian Jackson. Fairfield always likes to go with those complicated extra point plays. They're just going to head back to the original line of scrimmage.
And Fisher out there going to be the holder. Interesting.
The kick is up, and it's good from Aiden McGuire. So a very early score for Fairfield after their first drive. Looked like their offense wasn't all there. But they made adjustments, and only their second passing attempt of the game, able to find touchdown for Christian Jackson, a 55-yard shot.
Yeah.
Talon Fisher's got his first touchdown of the game.
And just like that, all the momentum going Fairfield's way. Talon Fisher showed a lot of poise in the pocket there. See if he can get going. The Comet defense, not a great showing so far. Haven't been able to get any stops in the rushing game or in the passing game.
Brock Snell, the kicker for the Indians, going to be different than the field goal kicker. That was Aiden McGuire. Fairfield going to be playing with a lot more momentum, a lot more confidence now. All right, he waves his arm. The kick's going to be off. Taken by Saeed Garnett, making a cut across the middle. The shifty Saeed Garnett inside the 40, almost to the 50-yard line. Saeed Garnett, he's dangerous on special teams.
Yeah, typically we see Kobe Lewis out there returning kicks, Garnett, but we've seen from the offense how shifty and fast he can be. And there, just get the ball in his hands, get him in open field, and he's going to make guys miss. Puts the Comets in great field position here. Takes some pressure off of Larson Brown.
A big play. You're talking about momentum during the regular season. Start feeling that pressure a little more when it's win or go home.
Mason getting their drive started from the 47-yard line. Better field position than the first drive. Going to be twins on both sides coming up. For Larson Brown, dropping back, looking deep. Kobe Lewis overshot him. Mason coming with a quick pass here, but it was a deep one. And really good coverage there from Fairfield.
Brown's got a big arm, trying to use that early on the first down, maybe catch the Indians defense off guard, but just overthrows Lewis a little bit. Now, really important here to get some yards on second down. You don't want a 3rd and long.
Second and 10 after the incompletion with trips to the right of Larson Brown. Saeed Garnett going to be in motion. Shotgun snap taken. It's a fake, and he keeps it himself. It's actually Michael Molnar coming in for Larson Brown. That's what he's there for, picking up a first down with his feet. We always talk about the quarterback tandem. Larson Brown's the arm, Michael Molnar's the legs. And you saw it there. Michael Molnar, his first snap as quarterback, able to pick up a first down.
Yeah, and be looking for a lot of read options for the Comets as well, reading off of those outside backers.
So the mindset completely changes, but there's that added pressure because you know what's at
Trip to the right, going to be the same formation here for Molnar. It's going to be a handoff. I believe that might have been Mikey Jones taking it, and it was. The sophomore running back, he plays both ways, stuffed right at the line of scrimmage.
And we've seen Jones making an impact on the defensive side of the ball as a safety all season long, but really broken out in these last 2 weeks with some injuries to the running back room on offense. He's been great, kind of adding a dynamic receiving element that Sailors and Egbert don't have.
Trips to the right once again. Mason going with the same formation. After the run for no gain, Michael Molnar rolling to his right, looking for a quick pass. Not able to find anyone, just going to throw it away after taking a hit. To bring up a 3rd and 10.
A lot of pressure there from the Indians, especially from Quentin Gamm. He tortured the Comets' offensive line in Week 8. He's got 3.5 sacks on the year. He's a name to watch.
to really ask Brown to level now, it's so much more advanced. They'll come out.
3rd and 10.
Play draw.
Interesting.
There's one high safety, go to this side.
Larson Brown back out there at quarterback.
Or we just have a
Molnar moves out to receiver.
offenses have really upgraded the complexity that they play.
Shotgun formation with Saeed Garnett in motion. Shotgun snap taken by Larson Brown, rolling out right. You know he was going to pass it after coming in. Pass is dropped. Diving attempt by, I believe it was Kobe Lewis. Wouldn't have got the first down anyway. But this might be four down territory. They are going to bring out the punting unit.
Yeah, Brown put a lot of velocity on that ball. Lewis just couldn't come down with it. Yeah. They're going to go with the punt here, try to pin him deep. You got to wonder if they were just able to get a couple yards on one of those downs, maybe that they would have kept the offense out there.
So Molnar, who does it all, is going to be back to punt. On sub, going to be a fair catch at about the 10-yard line, bouncing. Can Mason save it? There's a flag. It's a touchback. That's before the penalty. I believe the returner, Nate Hanna, may have been touched. After the fair catch, there's an injured player on the floor. The trainers having to come out on the field. We're not sure from this angle who that is.
That's Zach Rogers, the junior DB.
Where they have the quarterback take a quick three-step drop, you set, and the offensive line allows the
He's someone
inside.
Mason sees a bright future with. But as a junior, playing in a playoff game, that's always tough. And it's always tough mentally, and when you take a hit like that, spend some time on the floor, it can mess with you mentally, but Rogers able to get up on his own power.
At quarterback, he's been a big part of that Comets secondary. You know, not the biggest guy, but always plays aggressive in the air, going up against much taller receivers.
Rogers slowly walking off the field. But after the penalty, Fairfield's going to start their drive from their own 35-yard line. Looking to make it 2 consecutive drives with a score after the 55-yard bomb from Talon Fisher to Krista Jackson.
And in turn, that's what opened up that play action rollout down the field threat.
Fisher, only a sophomore, heading back out on the floor for Fairfield. Motion for Nate Hanna. There's a flag before, and it will be a false start on the Indians.
After a costly penalty from the Comets, Fairfield joins in. That's going to set him back 5 yards. Right here, Ben, you probably just want to get it back to Jordan Jackson. The Comets have not been able to stop him on any of his carries so far.
No. We had, I think, Columbus Bishop Reedy came into town. We had some powerhouses come to Veterans Memorial Stadium. And much like Elder Redding has...
Shotgun snap, a fake handoff, and ripped behind the line of scrimmage. That's Bryce Falk, only a junior. Missed the first half of the season out with an injury.
Yeah, and since Falks came back, the Comets pass rush just has an element that had been missing. He adds that speed and power off the edge, able to get to the opposing quarterback so fast. He's going to make things hard for Talon Fisher, you know, scrambling quarterback, but only sophomore, putting pressure on him. Could cause him to have some of that inconsistencies. 49% completion percentage. That's not ideal.
Played by the offensive line. Another shotgun snap after motion. This time it is handed off, and the ball's out. Fairfield says he's down, but if he's not, it's a fair fumble recovery for Mason. We're going to await the call. And they're going to say he was down. It did look like he may have been down just short of the first down. That rush. Coming from Jordan Jackson.
Now the Comets defense just got to go bend, don't break here. 3rd and 11. You can't give up another big play to either Talon Fisher or Jordan Jackson.
Crucial 3rd down early in the first quarter coming from Fairfield. 2:59 left to go in the first. A pass out to the left and just over the reach of the wide receiver Christian Jackson. And a 3 and out for Fairfield. So a touchdown sandwiched between 2 3 and outs. Interesting start for the Indians.
Yeah, and it was the pressure there from the Comets defense. Jake Bates got back there. Sophomore Malachi Reed also put some pressure on Talon Fisher. This caused that to be an inaccurate pass.
Punts away from Talon Fisher. Comets calling to get everyone away. Eventually touched at the 35-yard line where Mason starts their drive.
Now the Comets, they need to get their offense going. Saeed Garnett gave them great field position on the last kick return. They weren't able to do anything with it now. Late in the first quarter, they need to get going.
They're sending Larson Brown, the arm, back out on the field with twins to both sides. They like to go pass heavy when he's in the game. Saeed Garnett in motion. Shot taken, snap taken, gonna be a screen over to Nick Sailors in the backfield, swallowed up by a swarm of Indians.
And that was Hamburger, the star linebacker for the Indians. 6.5 sacks on the year. That's close to the top for the GMC. He's a difference maker on that second level of the defense.
Matthew Humbarger and Quentin Gem are the star linebacker duo. We have star linebacker duos on both sides tonight with Bates and Evans on Mason's side. Lewis in motion. It'll just be a handoff to Nick Sailors on 2nd down, not finding much room. Bring up about a 3rd and 13.
Yeah. Maybe going to get 4 there. Again, putting the Comets in a 3rd and long situation. And so far, the receivers haven't been able to come down with it.
KV Bivens was the one who made the tackle on that play, the outside linebacker for the Indians. Towards the top of the GMC in sacks this year with 62 tackles to go along. A 3rd and long coming up for the Comets. Twins to the left side of Larson Brown. Snap taking, gonna be a quick pass out to Lewis. Lewis trying to make a move, but there were a lot of Indians in the area. Not much gain on that one. And now Mason will be forced to punt. So we haven't seen a whole lot of first downs in this game. Just that 55-yard touchdown to Christian Jackson. That's the difference.
Yeah, the Comets tried to break off a quick pass there, tried to get some run after catch from Kobe Lewis, but Indians defense hasn't let up so far. Now a 3rd punt of the game for the Comets as we're heading towards the end of the first quarter. 50 seconds left on the clock.
Long snap taken by Molnar, taking his time on a high punt. Going to be a diving play made. That was an awkward play and could have been dangerous for Fairfield. They're going to start their drive at the 29.
Even though Comet offense hasn't been able to get anything going, only down 7 on the scoreboard. They're one big play away. You know, we almost had that fumble earlier. Actually, 2 times we've almost had fumbles. 1 turnover away from flipping this game on its head.
Fairfield now trying to improve off their last drive. It's going to be Hannah in motion. And a lot of room here for Jordan Jackson. There's no one in front of him. Can they chase him down? No. Inside the 5 and a touchdown for Jordan Jackson. Fairfield's up 2 scores right before the end of the first quarter.
What we just talked about, you're playing with fire because
So a couple of big plays have led to 13 points and a field goal, extra point pending.
Those Comet linebackers bit hard on Talon Fisher running the ball. Gave Jackson so much space, and there was just no way the Comets were going to catch up to him. Huge play there.
Fairfield starting their normal extra point play out on the right side, coming back in. Just trying to confuse Mason's defense, but it'll be Hayden McGuire. The righty kick is up and good. 14-0's the score with 17 seconds to go in the first quarter. Not the start that the Comets wanted.
Right now, Comets have not been able to limit the big plays. You know, they're just getting killed in the run game. Offensively, haven't been able to get anything going. Not much going in the Comets' favor in this first quarter. They're going to need a big second quarter if they want to stay in this game. The last time these two teams played, it was close pretty much the whole way through. Fairfield trying to make this one a blowout. But still early, Comets to change that.
So after an expanded playoffs, the first year where 16 teams from each region will make the playoffs. There are only 17 teams in Region 4 of Division 1. Oak Hills was the one team that was going to be left out until Western Hills opted out of the playoffs. So Oak Hills, the 16 seed, they're playing Moeller right now. The winner of this game here at Fairfield will take on the winner of that one. It's really rare and just different for us to see a winless team in the playoffs like Oak Hills after football is always that one sport that had a limited playoffs. But Brock Snell back to kick off. Mason looking for a good return. Saeed Garnett ranging back just in front of the goal line, going to take it out himself. Shifty makes a move, and he's got room. Saeed Garnett's on Fairfield's side, and it jukes the kicker. Inside the 30 now, finally brought down. A big hit at the 21-yard line. A very eventful return for Saeed Garnett. There's an injured Indian on the field.
And talk about dynamics, Saeed Garnett, his second return of the night. Another big one. This one all the way down to the 29. I can't even count how many defenders he made miss there.
Well, I'll tell you, I am not a guy who would want any situation trying to tackle Saeed Garnett.
Well, by the time Fairfield got him down, it was a big hit. The crowd went crazy as he went down, but Comets have great field position here. And now offensively, they haven't seen Saeed Garnett get the ball yet. We'll see if they try to get it to him early.
So that's the end of the first quarter, 14-0 for the Fairfield Indians. We're going to flip the field here. And Andrew, if Mason wants to get back in this game in the second quarter, get something before halftime, what do they have to do?
Well, you need to get the ball in the hands of Saeed Garnett. He's shown it on those 2 kickoff returns, how explosive he is. He had a couple big-time catches and runs against Fairfield the last time. You know, their defense clearly having trouble against him. They've been trying to get it in the hands of Kobe Lewis, Nick Sailors. Fairfield's done a good job of containing those guys, so try to get it in the hands of some of your other playmakers.
Ty had a big appearance on Cincy 360 this week as well. Really?
So Fairfield started their, Mason started their drive at the 21-yard line. Good field position after being down 14-0. Molnar starts the drive. His quarterback's going to run it to the left. Not able to pick up a first down, but he gets close.
And Molnar, something I love about Molnar is whenever he carries the ball, he's always trying to get that extra yard, falls forward. That's a key trait from any athlete, is knowing how to get that extra edge, falling forward, getting about another 2 yards there. And now for the first time, the Comets don't have a 2nd and 10. This is newfound territory for them now in the second quarter. A little bit more creativity, play calling wise.
An official timeout. Not sure for what. There's an Indian down on the far side. Injury timeout for him.
Now the Comets, really good opportunity here to score. 14-7 is a lot better than 14-0. One score. The Comets have shown they can make a couple stops, just spin those big plays. See, after that first quarter, get those playoff nerves. A lot of these guys are young, not a ton of experience for the Comets on defense. But right now, just to focus on Larson Brown, Michael Molnar, and those Comets playmakers.
So the injured player for Fairfield going to be Josiah Jackson. He's a key cornerback for Fairfield. Able to walk off the field on his own power.
Into that game. Moeller, though, the body of work down the stretch was very impressive. Does Moeller deserve that number 1 seed based on the body of work? Because the head-to-head matchup.
Now the Comets back out on the field. We'll see what they have here as they try to get on the board.
Mikey Jones comes into the game as the running back next to the shifty quarterback Michael Molnar. Trips to his right. Saeed Garnett coming in motion. Fake handoff to Jones and kept himself. Molnar's got a lot of room, and he can walk into the end zone. 6 for the Comets, their first score of the playoffs. And it comes from the senior quarterback / wide receiver / running back / safety / punter, the guy who can do it all, Michael Molnar.
Yeah, and they're led by Molnar. The Comets did everything they needed to on that offensive drive, finally able to string together a couple of successful plays. And really the key, getting yards on first down. That 2nd and 1 gave them so much more flexibility.
The extra point could come from Jacob Hernandez, joined in the middle of the season as a kicker. He's a player on the soccer team. Boots it through. Could have been good from 20 more. 14-7 is the score.
Coach Kastner's been preaching all week that this is a new season. Now in the second quarter, it's a new game for the Comets. 14-7.
Coming into this game, you take what you learned from that Fairfield game and you leave everything else from the regular season in the past.
Yeah, you want to keep those a little bit of some of those emotions after losing that nail biter. But yeah, got to clear your head, come in with a fresh mindset. Playoffs, the records don't matter at this point. All that matters is advancing, survive and advance.
Well, I'm sure Mason would like to leave that first quarter in the past with it. They were able to score to start the second quarter. 11:37 still left. So they score with 23 seconds and only 23 seconds in the quarter. And hopefully this revitalizes Mason, gives them a new energy, gives them more momentum. Ryan Rominski, the lefty, back to kick for the Comets, boots it away. Another weird squib kick. We don't see that a lot from him. Can be taken at the 25, brought out to the 35, a 10-yard return for Jordan Jackson.
Now the Comet defense needs to continue that momentum from the offense.
Well, I can assure you,
And, gonna look to the leadership of Caden Evans, their senior captain at linebacker. It's Talon Fisher, trots out onto the field.
Fisher with trips to the left, one receiver to the right. Nate Hanna in motion, fakes or gives the handoff to Hanna, only able to get a yard or two. Looks like that play teamed up from Bryce Falk and Caden Davis, two juniors and two defensive linemen.
Yeah, we mentioned it been a lot of youth on this Comet defense. Their first playoff game as members of varsity. So that first quarter, maybe some of those nerves played out, let out a couple big plays, especially that 71-yard touchdown from Jordan Jackson.
Another guy in motion here for Fairfield. This time it's Trent Stevenson. The handoff just going to be given to Jordan Jackson. And he's able to pick up a yard or two more than the last play, but that'll bring up a 3rd and 4.
3rd and 4. 3rd and 4. I'm interested to see what Fairfield calls here. Typically, you're trying to get 4 yards on every play, and now you got a lot of options. Do you run it? Do you pass it? With Fisher, thankfully, you can do both. Dual threat.
Fairfield hasn't really had a position like this. 3rd and about 4. Early in the second quarter, Jordan Jackson in motion, fakes the handoff to him, and a play made, stopped before the first down marker. That was Kai Woolfolk teaming up with Caden Evans. Woolfolk's only a sophomore.
Yeah, you love to see the underclassmen stepping up big in the playoffs. So far, the stage hasn't been too big for Woolfolk. The huge play there. As the Comets are going to have a chance. They keep that momentum going. They're going to get the ball back 14-7. They can tie it up here.
We're seeing so much in college football, NFL.
Starting to silence this Fairfield crowd.
4th and 2. Talon Fisher will be back in formation. The righty boots it away. No Comment's going to touch it. Kobe Lewis just backs away. And a nice roll, being down at the 12-yard line. Not great field position for the Comets. And we're going to see if we get Molnar or Brown coming out to play the QB position for the Comets.
Yeah, Molnar there had those 2 rushes, ended up leading to his touchdown run. He's had a lot of those. I believe that's his 9th rushing touchdown on the year. Had 4 receiving, 1 passing. He's been that Swiss Army knife for the Comet offense, but still expect to see a lot of Larson Brown under center. But it will be Molnar under center to start the drive.
Well, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Molnar was the quarterback when they scored. Of course, he was given great field position. There's a flag down. Going to be a neutral zone infraction on the Indians.
That great punt, pinning the Comets down at the 12. Going to chip away at that field position a little bit now. 1st and 5. And now we saw last time where the Comets, didn't have a 2nd and 10, 3rd and 10. They were able to get their offense going. Now 1st and 5, need to capitalize on that.
So evens out the field position a little more, makes it a little better. Still tough for Mason. 1st and 5 coming up for Molnar in shotgun formation. He's going to cape it himself. And a nice move on the outside. He's still on his feet. Taking it all the way to the sideline by the 30-yard line. And the legs of Michael Molnar picking up a 1st down after the penalty.
And Ben, I thought he was going to get tackled for a loss there. Looked like he was down, but keeps his legs moving, able to get outside, get that 1st down. He just adds a whole new element to this Comet offense. He's so hard to defend.
Twins to the right, 1 receiver to the left with Kobe Lewis in motion. Handoff will be given. I think that might have been Brian Egbert. That was Nick Sailors, only able to pick up a few. Going to be 2nd and 8.
Sailor still nursing that injury. Doesn't have as much burst in his step, and it shows they're only able to get 2 yards. Just met immediately at the line, able.
Mason hasn't been able to get Mikey Jones going either, so like you said, kind of nursing that injury, but they have to go with Sailors in a lot of moments. We'll see what Molnar can come up with on 2nd and 8 with twins to his right. He's going to fake it, slips, trying to look towards the outside, trucks his defender to pick up a few more.
And who needs a running back when Michael Molnar can be your rushing attack? Huge play there. I mean, he's a quarterback and just truck the guy. None more for his speed, elusiveness, but shows off some power there. And he's 3rd and 4 now. And he's going to stay out on the field. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
We'll see what Molnar can come up with now. 3rd and 5. Sailors behind him, a power formation with a couple of tight ends. One of them, Quentin Kaler, heading to the other side. The pitch is given to Sailors. He's going to need to pick up 5. But a nice play made at the line of scrimmage. Trent Stevenson, the senior for the Indians, not letting Sailors go anywhere. A tackle for a loss and forcing Mason to punt.
Stevenson, one of these guys playing both ways. Really good player for the Indians. Immediately recognizes the sweep and gets right past those Comet blockers. The Comets looked like a promising drive. Now they're going to have to punt it. Kind of sucks the life out of all their momentum.
Michael Molnar going to take the punt for Mason. There's a whistle, and I think Mason's going to. It will be a penalty on Mason. I thought they might have called a timeout. I think that's a delay of game.
And a lot of times we'll see purposeful delay of games when you're punting on in opposing territory, but here, backed up at your own 30, that delay of game is not so beneficial.
Molnar's got his work cut out for him today. His 4th punt of the night. This one a high one, heading out of bounds. And it'll go out of bounds around the 40-yard line. Fairfield once again getting pretty good field position. With 6:25 to go, we're halfway through the 2nd quarter.
And last time these two teams played, Fairfield got the ball just before the half, was able to run down and score, take that big lead and all the momentum going into halftime. Now 6:25 left. We'll see if they can have a slow, methodical drive and get some points on the board. It's been chunk plays, especially from Jordan Jackson. But Talon Fisher will come out here, try to show why he's one of the top quarterbacks in the GMC.
Trips to the right for Talon Fisher. Nate Hanna in motion, gonna be faked to him. The left he throws, got a receiver, overthrew him by a long shot. Incomplete, brings up 2nd and 10.
And Fisher, a lot of raw talent shows there. Showing off his big arm, but just overthrows his receiver. Needs a little more polish on that ball. Tried to take a shot on 1st down, which I can understand. You know, you want to get that lead on the Comets.
Shotgun snap. This time going to be a handoff to Jordan Jackson. He's got a lot of speed, and he's got the 1st down. He's got more room inside the 30-yard line, down the sideline. It's 6 for Jordan Jackson. Mason's defense lets up another big play.
Ben, it's almost like we've seen that exact play before. Jordan Jackson just gets the ball pounding home that point all week. Get revenge. But Fairfield, just the better team so far tonight.
It's a great atmosphere here at Fairfield High School. It's a rainy Friday night, but fans are making the trip. But on Mason's side, not a lot of satisfaction with play. 6:11 to go in the first half. Kicks away from Brock Snell. It's a squib. Taken by Caden Evans, I believe, out on the left side. There's a flag on the play. Gets inside the 50. The senior linebacker lined up in a blocking formation in the kickoff returns. He's going to be forced to take it after the squib, but he's able to make a good return out of it.
They tried to kick it away from Saeed Garnett there, but Caden Evans took it. Sometimes we'll line up at running back, fullback, and power formations.
Well, there is some dirty laundry on the field. It'll be a holding on Mason.
This coverage unit, they've struggled so far to contain the Comet returns, but there they catch a break with that holding penalty. Now 6 minutes. The Comets just need to try to string together a drive. Obviously those points came on a short field position after that huge return from Saeed Garnett.
Mason trying to cut this deficit down before the half. Out to play quarterback will be Larson Brown. A change from Molnar. He's looking deep for his receiver. And down the field, incomplete, almost intercepted. That pass was intended for Saeed Garnett.
And that's the second time tonight we've seen Trent Stevenson drop an interception. Happened on that first drive on 3rd and 10. And here again on first down. Larson Brown catches the break there. I mean, that was a great throw. Got a lot of distance on it, but not accurate enough.
Second and 10. Here with twins to the right of Larson Brown. He's known as the arm for the Comets. 5-step drop back. Will look deep once again. This time has his receiver. Given to Kobe Lewis, the senior, his first reception of the game. There's another flag on the play.
And Brown's been trying to get Lewis going all game long. He's been targeted several times there. As you said, gets his first catch.
So it's going to be a rare call. We rarely see this in high school, a targeting on the Fairfield Indians. Not sure who got charged with it, but it's not like college or the NFL where there's going to be an ejection. Just a normal, unnecessary roughness call. Gives Mason 15 yards, and they're now in Fairfield territory.
And a Comet penalty kind of set them back after that kickoff, but here an Indians kickoff, or excuse me, penalty is going to give the Comets an opportunity.
Twins to the left, a Larson Brown. And a handoff to Mikey Jones, trying to pull a defender with them. Only able to do so for a yard for a gain of 3.
And Jones, that's probably his best run of the night so far. Able to break through just a couple yards. But this rushing attack outside of Molnar has not been able to get anything going. That linebacker duo of Humberger and Gem have stuffed any attempt to get it going.
Second and about 6. This time it's twins to both sides. Larson Brown dropping back. It's going to be a screen pass to Mikey Jones, but a nice play made. That's a rare time you're going to see a defender slip on a screen there. That was Quentin Gem. He's had a quiet night defensively for the Indians. He's their star linebacker, but that is a real nice play to stop potentially a big play from Mikey Jones.
Yeah, a lot of pressure. The screen's designed to allow a lot of pressure there, but Brown was able to get it to Jones, nearly broke free, but was only able to get a yard.
Trips to the right with Garnett in motion. Larson Brown in shotgun, fakes the handoff, going to take it himself. That's Molnar. Molnar newly checked in his second rushing touchdown of the game. 6 for Michael Molnar. And the Comets once again close within 1 touchdown.
And now Molnar and Jordan Jackson dueling off, or splitting off touchdowns here. Fairfield cannot stop Molnar right now, you know, with those direct snaps.
Jacob Hernandez to bring Mason within 7. Perfect through the middle. So 21-14 with 4:13 left to go in the first half. Michael Molnar has both rushing touchdowns for the Comets. The senior definitely doesn't want his season to be over tonight. He's proven it.
Yeah, Molnar, I'm not even going to try to give him position. He's just an athlete. You know, we talked about it earlier. He plays everywhere out for this Comets defense, Comets team, even at punter. And right now, Fairfield does not have an answer for him. The Comets need to continue to get him the ball. I'd like to see Saeed Garnett get involved a little bit more. But that drive hopefully was a sign of better things to come for the Comets. Starting to look like they did last week against Hamilton, where their offense was just firing on all cylinders. Larson Brown had, in my opinion, his best game to date.
Mason's kicking unit back on the field, and you look at the score and you maybe say, Mason's not been able to stop Fairfield this game, but it's just those 3 big plays that Fairfield broke out. If Mason can limit those, they've looked good on a few drives.
Yeah, I mean, that opening drive forced a punt. They nearly got a fumble within their own red zone. So just a couple plays away from the Comets taking this game over.
Going to be a weird return, maybe a trick play, almost. Play made. It's going to be a block in the back, I believe. The return's coming down the sideline. This one from Nate Hanna. He's going to bring it inside the 35, but it looked like there was a block in the back, and there is a penalty flag back at Fairfield's own 18-yard line.
Yeah, there's a lot of laundry on the field. 2 flags inside the 20. So this one definitely coming back. Now the Comets, they need a 3-and-out. Going to be calling upon Jake Bates and Caden Evans, those linebackers. That first drive, they dominated, but since then, Jordan Jackson has taken advantage of just these gaping holes left by the Fairfield offensive line. We'll see what the call is from the refs. We expect block in the back.
And it is both yellow flags were a block in the back. Fairfield will start their drive from their own 9-yard line, Andrew.
Ben, we've already seen 1 botched snap so far. You know, 1 miscue from the Indians, and it could spell disaster for them, put the Comets back on the board.
It's felt like for Fairfield, field position hasn't even mattered because they've been able to break out those plays. A direct snap. Bryce Folk, nice tackle made. Bryce Folk and Caden Davis. We've seen that defensive line duo a couple times tonight, and they're able to get Talon Fisher for a tackle for a loss.
And Folk, I mean, it's hard to put into words just how important it is for this Comets defense to get him back. He gets into the backfield so quickly. He's already got 2 sacks now. Talon Fisher, I mean, can't even make his read by the time that Bryce Falk's in the backfield. And Caden Davis as well, putting a lot of pressure in there from the interior. This Comets defense has a lot of different ways they can beat you.
Jordan Jackson once again, a missed tackle, bringing it to about the 20-yard line. Going to be a first down. Jordan Jackson has been able to break out those plays all night long. Actually, it was a fake to Jackson, kept by Talon Fisher. That's the first big play we've seen from him in the running department.
Yeah, we've been waiting all game to see Fisher make some plays. He had that one big touchdown pass in the first quarter, but for the most part, it's just been him handing the ball off to Jordan Jackson. But they're able to break off a run, especially when he was backed up inside their own 5-yard line.
Nate Hanna will be in motion in front of Fisher. This time it is a handoff to Jordan Jackson. He's going right. Nice blocks on the outside. Going to be swallowed up after about 5 or 6. There is a flag, and it is a holding on the Fairfield Indians.
Yeah, and that holding gave Jordan Jackson, as if he needs any, but a little extra space. Thankfully, Jake Bates and Weston Simmons, a couple sophomores, were able to crash down, get the tackle. But yeah, this one's going to be coming back for a holding penalty. 2 minutes, 27 seconds on the clock. The Comets cannot give up a big play here. If you go into halftime down by 7 with the momentum in your favor, I mean, this is a totally different game than it was about 5 minutes ago.
So it'll be a rare 1st and 13 coming up for the Fairfield Indians. Talon Fisher in shotgun. Stevenson in motion. Fisher rolling out to the right, looking for a receiver and overthrew the intended man.
And I'm going to give all credit there to Aaron Spears. Fisher had a man open downfield, but Spears was able to get pressure, forcing Fisher to reevaluate his options and tries to go for that 10-yard pass.
Mason's given up some big rushing plays, but the pass coverage has been pretty good. A lot of that due to the senior-junior duo in Caden Evans and Jake Bates, the 2 middle linebackers. Mason's got a young secondary. We know how talented their pass coverage is, but you look at the middle linebackers, and that just adds to it. A broken play that's going to be stopped right before the first down marker. Excuse me, that's the original line of scrimmage, so a 3rd and 12 most likely going to be coming up.
And Jackson was brought down by a couple Comet defenders there. Caden Evans, Jake Bates were there, as well as Aaron Spears. And just the bond and leadership between those 2 linebackers has really helped elevate this Comet defense.
We're going to head to a quick message from Hope Squad. 21 to 14, excuse me. Fairfield has the lead. 1:45 left in the second quarter.
Hi, my name is Layla Sheikh, and I'm a member of the Mason Hope Squad. Hope Squad is a peer-to-peer suicide prevention and mental health awareness program here at MHS and at the Mason Middle School. We have over 50 Hope Squad members ranging across all 4 grades. We spread our awareness through social media posts on our Instagram and Twitter, as well as flyers throughout the school and just speaking to peers throughout the year. Something we did recently was hang up our See Something, Say Something posters in every classroom, so resources are readily available for you, friends, and teachers alike. If you or anyone you know need any type of support, please reach out to anyone wearing Hope Squad pins, shirts, and or just gear in general, and we would be willing to help and support anyone who's in need. Thank you so much.
We're back here at Fairfield High School. 21 to 14 is Fairfield's lead over the Comets. They got a 3rd and 12 coming up, and another missed receiver. Fairfield wanted a flag, but Talon Fisher not able to find his connection. And so after a 3rd down, Fairfield will be forced to punt.
And all game long, we've praised Caden Evans in the running game, the linebacker, but there makes a great play in coverage. Forces a tight window throw from Talon Fisher, and when you're a sophomore, you're not going to make those accurate throws just yet.
Talon Fisher in formation to punt, boots it towards midfield. Bounced and taken by Kobe Lewis and dropped right after. There will be a penalty flag on the play.
And
tackle was made by Nate Hanna, but we await the flag.
And I think that's just a marker for where he went down.
That change in high school football has been hard for me. Being colorblind, that yellow and orange difference isn't the easiest.
I'll try to help you out.
No penalty flag. Mason gets their drive started. at their own 45, Twins to both sides. It is Larson Brown at quarterback. He's going to drop back and look deep. He's got Kobe Lewis, but a nice play made defensively in coverage.
I get there's something about patience and not rushing in the pocket.
By Isaiah Glover.
Larson Brown was so...
Brown, takes a shot on first down again, showing off his big arm, but a great play from Glover. A minute 35 here for the Comets, only down 7. I was expecting Fairfield to just kind of run the clock out on that last drive, try to score, but no, the Comets will have another opportunity to tie this ball game up.
2nd and 10, trips to the left, Syed Garnett in motion. Larson Brown drops back to pass once again, hasn't been too successful just yet. Tries again and finds Bryant Violand, who's going to be pushed out of bounds on the Indian side of the field.
And Violand, he's kind of been the odd man out, you could say, in this receiver room with those 4 seniors. But he's made some big plays and stepped up when they needed him, especially at Sycamore. He had a huge catch, maybe the catch of the year, definitely the call of the year from Ube. And now,
thank you.
You're going to come back forward. If you're short, you're going to go deep across the field. That's something that's practiced each and every day.
Violand, definitely someone Mason wants to get involved more. Twins to both sides for Larson Brown. Pass rush coming, not much time. He's going to pass it quickly deep. Kobe Lewis, is this a catch? They're going to say he was out of bounds. Mason fans thought he got a foot in. The officials disagree, and once again, good coverage. That was Isaiah Glover again.
Larson Brown got hit there, but still delivered a really accurate ball. And we were talking about Violand making some big catches. Kobe Lewis has been making big grabs all season long there, just can't keep his feet in bounds.
With 1:20 to go with the first half, Mason will punt. Molnar going to be back to about the 35. Molnar takes the high snap, a quicker punt than normal, and a little more of a line drive. Danger for the Indians and the returner. He's able to fall on it. There is a flag on the play. And it'll be a penalty on Mason. There's a block in the back, so rarely you see a block in the back on the punting team. That must have happened before the punt. Officials went the wrong direction. So the block in the back actually was on Fairfield. That makes a little bit more sense. Miscommunication from the officials, and we pushed back. Forced to start their drive at their own 7-yard line.
And we saw a sack on the first play last drive. If Bryce Falk and Caden Davis can get into the backfield here, it might be a safety. So keep an eye on the pressure from the Comet D-line.
Fisher's only got 112 to get his offense going. They're up 21-17. It'll be a handoff to Jordan Jackson, stuffed at the line of scrimmage. Mason's box stepping up.
And they're going to blow that whistle, but the Comet defense could have pushed Jackson all the way back into the end zone. They came in hot on that first play. A lot of pressure from the D-line, especially Will Ott, the senior defensive end.
35 seconds to go. Fairfield, a 2nd and 11 from their own 7. Talon Fisher takes the snap, another handoff, playing it conservative. It's Jordan Jackson again. Mason's defense has been there the last couple of plays.
100% hitting the hole.
And Caden Evans, Jake Bates there, the linebackers came down with a hit. Bates a little aggressive there at the end of that play. Some fans were calling for a flag, but that's just who he is. He's an aggressive player. Now a timeout. Only
Not sure why Mason's taking a timeout on defense with only 12 seconds to go.
You're not thinking about your offense.
It's still third down.
You're looking at, okay, the ball's inside the 10. Here's stop where it is. That puts more pressure on a long snapper, on the punter, on the execution, where maybe if something happens, you can achieve 2 points or achieve something.
the Comets defense so far on this drive has done everything right. Fisher and Jackson can't get anything going. That's been in stark contrast to the rest of the game. Finally finding a way to contain Jordan Jackson, who obviously broke out those 2 long rushing touchdowns earlier in the game. Now 21 seconds put back on the clock. We'll see what Talon Fisher can do.
3rd and 10 coming up. Fisher's going to keep it himself on a run to the left and be swallowed up only after a gain of about 3. And there's another timeout taken by Mason once again. So Kastner, maybe you never know what's going to happen. You don't want to waste your timeouts. So with 16 seconds left to go, and Fairfield might have to punt from their own end zone.
Well, we've already seen 2 huge returns from Saeed Garnett on special teams, so maybe he could take one here and give the Comets great field position. And if not, against Middletown in Week 4, at the end of the half, the Comets had a lead, but aggressive play calling. They threw, a bubble screen to Saeed Garnett. He took it about 80 yards for the touchdown. So the Comets, they have a chance to score if they get the ball back here. I like the aggressiveness from Kastner.
Well, like I said earlier, you got 3 timeouts and a half. Why don't you use them? Last season, Mason was able to make it past the first round. They then got bounced by Coleraine. Fairfield was a different story. A first-round exit at Elder. With 3 returners back for Mason and a punt from the own end zone for Talon Fisher, and it's just going to be a fair catch. So clock stops at 10 seconds. Mason's got a couple of shots downfield. And the winner of this game, like we mentioned, takes on the winner of Moeller and Oak Hills. Moeller up in that game 35-0. I can't say that we didn't expect that. Oak Hills was winless on the season. Moeller's the 1 seed.
Yeah, well, it's great that we get to some games like this in 8-9 with the expanded playoffs. We also get the 1 versus 16, a little bit more lopsided. So likely that one of these teams will end up playing Moeller, barring a miracle from Oak Hills. And now 10 seconds left. There's really 2 trains of thought here. You go for the deep pass with Larson Brown, because you don't call those timeouts if you're not going for it, or you go for a short pass.
Mason is lined up in kick-off formation. Ryan Rominski is back to kick for the Comets. Just after a fair catch. I haven't seen this.
Ben, I'm at a loss for words. I don't know what's going on. Rominski's got a big leg, but this isn't a field goal. We'll see what's going on here.
It's going to be a field goal attempt. Ryan Rominski's got a strong leg. Usually he's the one to take those long field goals.
I've never seen a field goal at any level in this formation.
Usually you want, when you're the offense, you want a holder in these special team formations. But when it's deep like this, they're going to stay in this kickoff formation. Ryan Rominski from the 45-yard line. It's up, and it's just short. Going to bounce in the end zone. That'll end up being a touchback.
and you had 10 seconds on the clock. I'm a little surprised, you have a timeout left. Why you didn't go for a quick screen pass maybe, or a quick out route to Kobe Lewis to try to get Ruminski a little bit more yardage. I mean, you were setting him up for failure there with a 50-plus yard field goal. But
So we have confirmation. The OHSAA rule is, in Ohio high school, if you fair catch, you are allowed to attempt a dead ball field goal. That's what Mason just did. So a strange play, one we do not see every day.
Coach Castner,
Ryan Ruminski came up just short. It was online, and he's got a strong leg, but couldn't get it done there.
Castner showing off his knowledge of the rule book there, I guess. That's some creativity, that's for sure.
So we'll head to halftime. Mason able to cut the deficit to only a touchdown, but Fairfield, 3 big plays, gives them a 21-14 lead at the intermission. The first round of OHSAA playoffs. Fairfield, 7-point lead.
If I was stuck on a deserted island, I think I'd bring Larson Brown and some playing cards.
I would bring a bunch of bacon cheeseburgers and some Dr. Pepper.
Oh, if I was stuck on a desert island, I would bring food and water.
If I was stuck on a desert island, I'd bring a boat and some gas.
If I brought 2 items to a desert island, I'd probably bring a knife and a plane.
If I was on a desert island, I would bring a rope to tie things up and probably a food supply, like, frozen beef to cook.
If I was stuck in a desert island, I'd bring Caden Evans because he's a good friend of mine, and then I'd bring some chicken Alfredo because it's my favorite food.
The 2 items I would bring a machete. You need a machete to chop some stuff down, build a shelter, and then I would bring some water.
If I was stuck on a desert island, I would bring a boat and my pet monkey.
If I was stuck on a desert island, I would bring my dog and a Chick-fil-A sandwich. If I could be any animal, I'd probably be a panther because Black Panther is my favorite movie.
A lion, because I feel like I got a lot of courage, and I feel like I'm brave enough to just go out and do anything.
I would compare myself to a cheetah because I'm super fast.
If I compare myself to any animal, I'll compare myself to a cheetah because I'm fast.
If I could be any animal, I'd be a polar bear because I'm hairy and I like to be in the cold.
If I could compare myself with any animal, I would be a lion because they're just a good animal.
If I could compare myself to any animal, I would say a lion, So they like to chill out and do their thing, but if they have to go do something, they'll do it.
If I was gonna be an animal, it would be a monkey, because you're smart, and I'm pretty smart.
If I could be any animal, I would be a capybara because that's my favorite animal.
I'd probably do A New Level by A$AP Ferg, because every time I step in a room, I feel like I'm that guy.
I would do Hurricane by Bridget Medler.
If any song would play when I walk in a room, I think it'd be Way Too Sexy by Drake and Future.
If a song played anytime, Rod Wave, Time Seals.
If any song played when I walked in the room, it'd be 7 Years by Lucas Graham.
There was a song that played every time I came into the room. It'd be Sexy and I Know It by LMFAO.
If I were to play a song when I walked in a room, it would be a Travis Scott song.
If a song played every time I entered a room, I'd pick Senseless by Kodak Black.
If a song played every time I entered a room, it would be anything Polo G.
If I entered a room and a song played, it would be Pump It Up.
If a song played every time I walked into a room, it would be The City Is Ours by Big Time Rush.
Welcome back to Fairfield High School for the first round OHSAA playoff matchup. The Indians lead the Comets 21-14 here on Mason Sports Radio. I'm Ben Haller alongside my partner Andrew Little. Andrew, why don't you recap the first half for us?
Well, yeah, to start off the game, both teams had 3 and outs on offense. Then Talon Fisher connected with Christian Jackson for a 56-yard touchdown. That's been his only completion of the game, however. It's been their running back that's done most of the damage. He had Jordan Jackson had a 71-yard touchdown after that. Then Michael Molnar responded with a rushing touchdown. Then Jackson had another big touchdown. And then Molnar also got a rushing touchdown. So it's been a tale of 2 players, really. Neither team's been able to get the passing game going. It's just been big chunk plays, really, so far.
Comets have stayed resilient. They went down 7-0 early, 14-0 after that. We're able to get a touchdown back, and then Fairfield, after going out 21-7, Mason was able to respond with 2 touchdowns from Michael Molnar. 21-14 is where we sit right now, the advantage in Fairfield. But fortunately for the Comets, they will receive the opening second half kick. As we saw a bizarre play there at the end of the first half with the dead ball field goal attempt from Ryan Rominski. Didn't pay off for the Comets, but not too much damage. Fairfield just took a knee. And that's where we are right now. 12 minutes on the clock. 24 minutes the Comets have to save their season. Their first attempts. Going to be a return over on the right side. Not the normal returner. Swallowed up at about the 34-yard line. That's where Mason starts their drive. Weston Simmons on the return.
And so now the Comets have a dilemma. Do you stick with Michael Molnar, who's been able to run the ball well for you, really been your only offense? He's got 6 rushes for 82 yards and 2 touchdowns. Or do you go back to Larson Brown, who's been consistent all year passing the ball, try to get that passing game going? Because so far they've been a one-dimensional offense.
So it will be Michael Molnar coming back out on the field with twins to the left, 1 receiver to his right. To start the second half, he's going to fake a handoff, run outside. That's been successful for him so far today. There's a flag after breaking a tackle down the sideline in Indian territory, but this one might be coming back.
Yeah, this one's going to be a holding call on the Comets. As you can see, Fairfield's defense pretty happy about that. But Molnar, I don't even think he needed that block. He just got in space, breaking tackles. He's been so dynamic, a one-man wrecking crew so far. So the Comets need to continue to put the ball in his hands.
So that's going to push Mason back. So they're going to have a 1st and 20 coming up here. Trips to the left for Michael Molnar. Shotgun snap, fakes the handoff, 2nd straight time. He's got a lot of space. Able to pick up 14 yards for a 2nd and 6.
And Fairfield just cannot stop Michael Molnar. Another big run. We've talked a lot about their star linebackers, Quentin Gend and Matt Haumbarger, and they've done a great job of stopping the Comets' running backs, Nick Sailors and Mikey Jones, but no answer when Michael Molnar just takes it on a QB scramble as he heads out on 2nd and 6.
2nd and 6, Saeed Garnett in motion, and head back where he came from. Shotgun snap, this time is a handoff to Mikey Jones. Not getting a lot of space there.
Jones, that's his 3rd carry, only got 4 yards on the day so far, just has been stuffed. They tried to use him a little bit in the receiving game with a screen pass, get him out in space, but it didn't work as those linebackers, Gend and Humbarger made a play. So now 3rd and 3.
A crucial play early in the third quarter. 3rd down and not a lot to gain. Twins to the right for Michael Molnar. Saeed Garnett in motion. Heading back. It's a handoff to Mikey Jones. Once again fighting for extra yards, and he's brought back.
And we'll see where they place this ball, but he is going to be short. How short is the question, though? And this is a shot where wow.
They gave him the first down, maybe forward progression.
Yeah, and I was about to say the Comets, they could be aggressive here and go for it on 4th and inches, but no, they're going to give him, forward progress. Fairfield not happy about that call.
Makes Coach Kastner's job a lot easier here. Going to be a 1st and 10 from their own 45. And a good job by Molnar after that penalty that pushed him back 10 yards to get him out of there. And 2 runs by Mikey Jones gets him the first. Shotgun snap. Molnar looking right. The blind side sack for Fairfield. That's Matt Humbarger, a star linebacker we've talked about all day. Molnar had no idea he was coming from his backside.
Humbarger 2nd in the GMC in sacks, and just went straight past Comet left tackle Layden Davidson. I mean, Michael Molnar just got hit, blindsided. A huge loss there on 1st down.
Molnar's not used to be getting sacked with his mobility, but didn't move there at all. He's going to keep it himself into the fake handoff, trying to bounce it outside, able to do so. Gets to the original line of scrimmage, maybe a 2nd and 9.
And there was plenty of Indian defenders that got into the backfield, but Molnar somehow able to escape and get back to the original, about the
3rd and 10 here for the Comets.
Molnar continues to make plays with his legs. But now Larson Brown out there. Maybe the signal's a pass for the Comets.
Trips to the right with the one receiver to the left. Shotgun snap taken. Molnar drops back, escaping pressure once again, and he's brought down. Another sack for the Fairfield Indians.
And last time these two teams played, the story of the game for the Comets was getting sacked, just continuously getting pushed back and putting themselves in, 3rd and longs. And there on 3rd down, Larson Brown, just the pocket collapses on him. None of his receivers were open.
That was a sack from the safety, Martrell Boykin. That's rare. But Mason will be forced to punt now. Michael Molnar takes the high snap and a high punt. That one's going to hit the sideline about the 22-yard line. That's where Fairfield starts their drive.
Now 7 minutes remaining. Really important for the Comets to get a stop here. Only down 7, so even though they didn't score there, this still well within striking distance. The Comet defense at the end of the first half, their defensive line especially, really started to get going. A lot of pressure coming from their front 7. Jake Bates, Caden Evans have been key at the linebacker position so far.
Snap taken over the head, and he's going to go all the way back to the end zone, throws it away, a risky play.
And that's a heads-up play there from Fisher to throw it away.
I wasn't sure what he was doing when he picked up the ball in front of the end zone and ran it back to the end zone, but he was just escaping pressure so he could throw it away. A risky play, but it paid off for him. Fairfield making the best out of what was a bad situation.
Yeah, a lot of times, like earlier in the game, when you have a fumbled snap, you're just going to take it and get down, avoid a fumble. But there, Fisher makes the gutsy move to throw it away, but it pays off. Doesn't lose any yards.
So luckily, it just counts as an incompletion. 2nd and 10 from the same spot. Handoff given to Jordan Jackson. Breaking a couple tackles. He's very shifty. Gets a gain of about 7 or 8.
And right now, Jordan Jackson's averaging 18 yards a carry, 10 rushes, 182 yards, and 2 touchdowns. But most of his damage has come in the open field, getting out in space, using his speed there, goes in between the tackles and makes guys miss. So showing off a different layer to his game. If he can get that power aspect going, he's going to be even more unstoppable.
We're almost halfway through the third quarter. Clock's running. Snap taken by Talon Fisher over on the right side. He'll pick up the first down just barely.
And as much as the Comets have been getting pressure on these pass attempts, their run defense has struggled. Talon Fisher, Jordan Jackson, just too athletic. And now out at the 31-yard line, they've got some space. We'll see if Fisher can get going. Only 1 completion so far.
Fresh set of downs for the Indians. And Talon Fisher. Trent Stevenson in motion. He fakes a pitch to him. Keeps it himself bouncing outside. It's going to be tripped up and eventually met by a few Comets at the 30-yard line. That may be for a loss.
Yeah, and there, Fisher just slides down, doesn't want to risk getting hit, particularly fumbling, or worse, getting injured. He's right now their most important player, maybe outside of Jordan Jackson. His dual threat ability, so important to this Indian offense.
Twins to both sides. Talon Fisher, another high snap, this time able to keep it, and a handoff to Jordan Jackson, who's got a first down. Jackson's been dangerous all game, down the sideline, missed tackle. No Comets are able to bring him down, and Jordan Jackson again.
I mean, what can you say at this point? He's just so fast. He gets the ball, he turns upfield, and there's no stopping him. The Comets, I would say there's missed tackles, but they're not even getting close enough to even have an attempt.
There was one opportunity on the sideline, but it was a diving attempt. I believe that was from Mikey Jones.
Jordan Jackson, one of the fastest players in Ohio, it looks like. I mean, they cannot stop him right now.
Aiden McGuire set to add on a point. And he does so 28-14. Fairfield's doubled Mason's score here with 4:55 left to go in the third quarter. Comets down 14, need to get something going if they don't want their season to end today.
Now a lot of pressure on this Comet offense, down 14, a little less than 5 minutes to go in the third quarter, and they need to get their passing game going. Larson Brown only has 4 completions for 7 yards. It's just been Michael Molnar in the rushing game so far. And when Jordan Jackson seemingly scores every time he touches the ball, you're going to have to be a little more explosive on offense.
Fairfield back to kick. It seemed like almost every time Fairfield scored, Mason's been able to come back the next drive and put 7 of their own on the board. They're going to need that here. Under 5 minutes to go in the third quarter. Brock Snell back to kick, a high one but a short one, taken by Weston Simmons once again. Going to try to take it out inside the 40-yard line. Mason starts their drive for the 41. And we've seen both teams get a lot of good field position.
Yeah, the coverage units, especially for Fairfield, have struggled, but the Comets have only been able to take advantage of that field position one time after Garnett returned it 70-plus yards to the 21-yard line, and Molnar was able to run in for some touchdowns. And Molnar back out there. He has been the star of the show in what could be his last high school football game.
They did bring Brown in for third down last drive, but Brown's not been able to complete those passes that we usually see from him. A 1st and 10 with Michael Molnar in, fakes the handoff, another run that we see from the senior, taking it inside the 45. Brings up a 2nd and 5.
And now 2nd and 5, takes a little bit of pressure off Molnar and company, finally getting Garnett involved. But now, I mean, they really need to get this pace going. Down 14 on the scoreboard.
We'll see what they come with again. 2 receivers out to his right. Looks like an identical play. This time Matt's out to the outside and makes a cut. So he didn't have a lot of room, but he's making the best out of it. It'll bring up a 3rd and short, 3rd and 2 coming up for the Comets. Another crucial 3rd down around midfield.
And Molnar goes over to the sideline to get the play call. We'll see what the Comet offense has right up here. 3rd and 2 around midfield, so it's 4-down territory here. Maybe take a shot. Go downfield.
The 3rd and short. It's just going to be a handoff up the middle. We're going to wait to see the call. The spot looks like it'll be a 1st down, and it will be the rush from the junior Nick Sailors. And it looks like the combination of Sailors and Jones, they're just bringing Sailors in on those 3rd down plays, trying to rest them when they don't need him as much, putting Jones in. Hopefully he can break out. He probably has more breakout potential. But Sailors is consistent, always getting those 3 or 4 yard runs.
Yeah, really a testament to his toughness out here playing with that foot injury.
Rolling out to his right, trying to find Kobe Lewis, and he does. Catch is made, and that will be a 1st down. There's a penalty flag on the field.
And the Comets starting to walk back a bit. Most likely a holding call.
Defense is holding.
Oh, wow.
So fortunate for the Comets when they signaled that holding. I think we all thought we're talking about the Comets, but luckily it'll go the other way. Put Mason in Indian territory.
Now the Comets gifted a 1st down as they move deeper into Fairfield territory. We'll see if they can convert. 2 minutes and 52 seconds remain in the quarter. Molnar continues to just grind with his rushing attempts, keeping this well-oiled Mason offense machine going.
1st and 10 after the penalty with trips to the left of Molnar. Fakes the handoff, a read option, keeps it himself, but it didn't matter what option he chose. Swallowed up at the line of scrimmage. Fairfield's defensive line holding strong.
Yeah, not a lot of gaps in the interior. One of their starting guards, Dominic Bomarito, has been out for the last few weeks. He's out for the season with an injury, so some inexperience on the interior offensive line. But, I mean, Molnar, he tripped there, so probably wouldn't have gotten any yards regardless.
Under 2 minutes to go here. 2nd and 11 coming up. Molnar takes the snap, surveys the ice option, keeping it to the outside. Is it his 3rd touchdown of the game? Dives for the pylon and in. Michael Molnar, what a night. His 3rd rushing touchdown.
And Ben, yet again, Jackson Molnar, Jackson Molnar, Jackson Molnar, each with 3 rushing touchdowns at this point, all big plays. Just no answer for either of them. They're the 2 best athletes on the field, and both teams finding a way to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers. Now the Comets bring this deficit only to 1 score. It's a whole new ball game again. They just need to get that 1 stop, and as rain starting to come down hard, the weather could contribute to the rushing attack. It's a lot harder to throw the ball in the rain.
Jacob Hernandez to pull Mason within 7. We've seen that story a few times. Up and good, 28-21. The Comets are able to answer the Jordan Jackson touchdown. All 3 times you mentioned it, Jordan Jackson scored. Mason's been able to answer with Michael Molnar. The difference, the touchdown pass. The only attempt from Talon Fisher, that one's to Christian Jackson. That's why they have that 28-21 lead with 1:43 to go in the third quarter.
Yeah, and these Comets seniors starting to play back a little bit more. They're fighting. They do not want this to be the last game of their career. Michael Molnar taking over the game. And we'll see if Caden Evans, the captain, can lead his troops on defense to get a stop.
Well, we talked about it at the intermission, was those big plays, what they had to stop, and that didn't change into the second half. We saw another one broken out from Jordan Jackson. And Ryan Rominski set to kick for the Comets. We're just a little bit away from the end of the third. There's going to be a penalty. It's going to be an offside on Mason.
You don't
They're
see
going to have to re-kick
offsides on the kickoff very often. That's just an unnecessary error that's going to set you back and give Fairfield a little bit better field position. It's been a game of field position so far. We've talked about it. It feels like every time they kick, one of these teams is getting the ball at the 40-yard line or even closer.
So they'll kick from the 30-yard line now as opposed to the 35, only a 5-yard penalty. Rominski with another squib kick. Taken at the 25-yard line, looking to the right. He's got the edge. Eventually swallowed up at the 44-yard line. Indians start their drive in their own territory. But once again, good field position.
Now the Comets faced with a very difficult task of stopping Jordan Jackson, and that's easier said than done. I mean, I know at halftime that was the number one thing they were talking about, is not giving him the edge, but third quarter it's been the same thing as he had that huge 60-plus yard touchdown.
Twins to the right and the left for Talon Fisher starting his drive. Jordan Jackson in motion. Fake handoff to him, kept by Fisher. Brought down just before the 50-yard line.
And Weston Simmons coming from the secondary with a big hit. Forcing the 2nd and 5. Again, Fairfield opting to attack the Comet defense by running the ball.
Twins to both sides once again. Last time we saw Jackson in motion. No one in motion this time. Snap taken. Just give it to Jackson out of the backfield. Got the edge on the right. Gets a first down. Will be brought down at the Mason 40-yard line. But that looked scary. It looked like we've seen that story a few times. Fortunately, Mason's able to adjust and bring him down, but not before a first down.
And Ben, I think I'm starting to pick up a pattern here on these outside zone runs to Jackson. They're not having any tight ends. All right, so Will Ott's kind of getting a free pass to the quarterback. He shoots that gap, and then they send Jackson on the outside, and he's got a lot of space, and he can just outrun those Comet DBs.
There is an injured Indian on the field. That is Jordan Jackson. The story of our game so far. He's able to walk off with the trainers, but that could be crucial for the Indians, not having a breakout player like him. When we talked about earlier how they're not getting those pound-for-pound drives.
Yeah, hope for the best for Jackson. He has been just incredible tonight for them. The Comets have had no answer, and now a lot more pressure going to fall on the shoulders of Talon Fisher, their sophomore signal caller. He's been inconsistent all year, but not a lot of mistakes tonight.
Trips to the left. No Jordan Jackson into the game for Fairfield now. Talon Fisher fakes the handoff and throws a screen over to the left to Nate Hanna. Swallowed up just after the 40-yard line. It'll bring up a 2nd and 8 or 9.
And the Comets able to contain the edge there, not giving up any extra yards.
Fairfield most likely will not take a snap before the buzzer at the end of the third here. At the end of the third quarter, the Mason Comets trail the Fairfield Indians in the first round of the OHSAA state playoffs, 28-21.
Hi, my name is Layla Sheikh, and I'm a member of the Mason Hope Squad. Hope Squad is a peer-to-peer suicide prevention and mental health awareness program here at MHS and at the Mason Middle School. We have over 50 Hope Squad members ranging across all 4 grades. We spread our awareness through social media posts on our Instagram and Twitter, as well as flyers throughout the school and just speaking to peers throughout the year. Something we did recently was hang up our See Something, Say Something posters in every classroom, so resources are readily available for you, friends, and teachers alike. If you or anyone you know need any type of support, please reach out to anyone wearing Hope Squad pins, shirts, and or just gear in general, and we would be willing to help and support anyone who's in need. Thank you so much.
Fourth quarter action starting here from Fairfield. Going to be a snap taken to Nate Hanna, turn to the corner, picking up 6. And Mason has 12 minutes to save their season. The seniors not wanting this to be their last career game.
It's going to bring up a crucial 3rd and 5, possibly 4 down territory for the Indians. The Comets need a stop here. If they can do that, their offense has been rolling as of late with Molnar at the helm.
This could be their biggest play of the season up to this point, a 3rd and 5. Fisher kept himself outside to the left, stopped at the first down marker. We await the spot. And from our angle, it looks like he's a bit short. It's 4 down territory, though. I'd assume Fairfield will go with it. Go for it.
Yeah, Fairfield definitely going to go for it here, especially with a quarterback like Fisher. You can just sneak it up the middle. Another important thing to note, Jordan Jackson back out on the field. Good to see him healthy, as now Fairfield's going to call a timeout. Just 42 seconds in to the fourth quarter.
There's going to be a whistle and a timeout taken. Fairfield takes the timeout. Talk things over before this 4th and 1. What do you expect here from Fairfield, Andrew?
Well, I think that they should take it up the middle with Talon Fisher. Utilize his speed and strength. This Comets interior defensive line, it's not the biggest. You know, they've got Caden Evans in there, who's kind of a lankier edge rusher kind of guy that they kick inside. And so we'll see if they can take advantage of that. But watch Jake Bates coming downhill. He's a hard hitter at linebacker.
A power-heavy formation coming up for Fairfield. They only need 1. There's a flag, and that's big. A false start on the Fairfield Indians turns the 4th and 1 to a 4th and 6.
And this changes things, Ben. 4th and 6, you don't want to give the Comets that great a field position, so you might have to bring out the punting unit, because at the 36, you know, you're not really in field goal territory. So yeah, the punt team is going to head out there. A pivotal mistake for the Fairfield offensive line. Now the Comets are going to have a chance with 11 minutes left. Oh wait,
there's no punt team. Fisher in shotgun. He is the punter, so we may see a quick pass, and they got the first down.
And the Comet defense just was not ready for that.
Kieran Love, we haven't seen a lot of him today, but he comes up when they need it the most. Only the third complete reception from Talon Fisher tonight.
Both teams use their quarterback as their punter. That enables them to kind of confuse the defense. And there, Fisher, he hasn't thrown the ball often, but the times he has, it's been lethal. He had that 56-yard touchdown to Christian Jackson, and there, that first down.
Twins to both sides in a new set of downs. Going to be a handoff to the right side. Jordan Jackson, he's back in the game, and he'll be stuffed at the line of scrimmage.
And Caden Evans was the first Comet to get there. This Comet defense in the second half started to play with more tenacity. Playoff jitters are out. You're down on the scoreboard. It's win or go home. This isn't the regular season anymore. And guys like Caden Evans trying to advance one more week in their career.
Second and long. Talon Fisher to keep it himself. In the backfield, brought down. A swarm of Comets and a flag. Thought I saw a flag. May have just been a towel from the player.
And Fisher was just shoved over there. It's hard to tell who because so many Comet defenders got there. This Fairfield O-line has been hot and cold. Sometimes the Comets can't get any pressure, and then there's other times, like right there, where there's 5+ defenders in the backfield. And now 3rd and 13, you're putting your team in another poor position.
Another big third down and another play that feels like the biggest of Mason's season up to this point. Twins on both sides. Fisher will pass. Looking right, almost pressure. Got to him, intercepted by Caden Evans. Caden Evans has some room, makes a man miss. Will bring the tackler to the 45-yard line. Comets take over.
And what about that? Comets get a lot of pressure. Talon Fisher makes an inaccurate throw, and Caden Evans, the senior captain, the linebacker, makes a play in coverage with that huge interception, taking it back. Now the Comets down 7 on the scoreboard, all the momentum in their favor around midfield. Things are looking great for Mason.
That's exactly the moment Caden Evans was looking for. A senior linebacker gets his chance to step up. And Molnar now in at quarterback, dancing around to the backfield, able to convert it to +2 or 3. 9 minutes to go in this first round matchup.
And Molnar, he's just been an automatic 4 or 5 yards every time he carries it. And if a coach had to give you their perfect drive, it's just probably consecutive 4-yard runs. And that's what Molnar's done so far. But Caden Evans, that interception really set up this team.
A 2nd and 7, Molnar takes the snap again. This time, it is a handoff. Up the middle, Nick Saylor is able to pick up a few and move the chains. Now in Indian territory.
Saylor's a more powerful in between the tackles kind of runner, fights for the extra yards there, dives down, gets that first down. That now that you've got a new set of downs, just gives Michael Molnar a bit of a breather here as he goes in. And now Mikey Jones coming out running back. He's been spelling Sailors all game.
Trip to the left for Molnar. Mikey Jones, like you mentioned, next to him. Whom gets the ball. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. Fairfield's defense steps up. Tackle made by Quentin Grem.
And we've been waiting to hear his name a little bit more. All named Quentin Grem dominated the Comets last time these two teams played, but it's been a little slow so far. Not a lot of splash plays from him, but there comes up with a huge stop for Mikey Jones.
Retweet it. 2nd and 10. Mason at the 45-yard line. Molnar fakes the handoff, running them up the middle.
And again, I'm starting to sound like a broken record, but no matter what the Fairfield defense does, Michael Molnar is an automatic 5 yards. And we've got an injured Indian on the field as the officials are going to take a timeout.
Amir Rogers appears to be the injured Indian on the field. An outside linebacker for the Indians. But Mason will come up with a 3rd and 5. Flip the script on these crucial 3rd downs. They're on offense now. With 7 minutes to go in Fairfield territory. Molnar, the senior, going to have to step up big. As Rogers able to stand up and walk off the field. Good sign for Fairfield. Both teams slowly heading back out on the field.
And now, after that injury, the Fairfield defense has to prepare to stop the Comets on this crucial 3rd and this critical 3rd and 5 at the 40-yard line. It's 4-down territory. I think you need more than a stop here. I think you need to tackle the Comets for a loss and set them back.
Twin to the left, 1 receiver to the right. A 3rd and 5 for Michael Molnar. Hard count, but it ends up hurting the Comets. A false start on Mason pushes them back 5 yards. And a 3rd and 5, now it becomes a 3rd and 10.
And we saw that happen earlier with Fairfield, where it was actually a 3rd or 4th and 1, and there was a false start. You can't have that happen when you're down on the scoreboard trying to mount a comeback on 3rd and medium. That just kills the momentum of the drive. And you can't just run up the middle for 5 yards with Molnar now. You have to get a little bit more creative.
That'll be the same formation with Twins to his left and Sailors behind him. He'll keep it himself. Oh, handoff to Sailors, faked me out. Almost to the 1st down marker. They probably will go for it on this 4th and short.
And another tough run there from Sailors on 3rd down. Usually teams use more of a receiving back on 3rd down, but the Comets with the injured Sailors have been opting to use their power back. So kind of interesting, but it's worked out. Sailors really starting to get going here in the 2nd half. And a power formation.
Biggest play of the Comet season to this point. 4th and 1 at the Fairfield 36. Brown hands it off and he stopped. Nick Sailors is stopped before the 1st down marker. Tackle is made by who other than Matthew Hombarger, and the Comets turn it over on downs with 5:38 to go. And this OHSAA round 1.
And the Comets just can't pick up a yard there. A great stop from Fairfield. Now 5:33 left in the game. They've got all 3 timeouts, but the Comets, their defense needs to be flawless on this potentially last drive of their season.
Fairfield now most likely going to play more conservatively. There's still a lot of time on the clock. 5:33 to go. Fairfield starts their drive from their own 36. Fisher in shotgun. Fakes the handoff, run up the middle. That's what we see from Michael Molnar. Picks up the 1st down, sprinting towards midfield.
Fisher fooled the entire Comet defense. They all went after Jordan Jackson. And, we haven't seen him run the ball or really pass the ball. We haven't seen Fisher take over this game a ton. It's mostly just been Jordan Jackson, but they're showing off his mobility, getting that 1st down. And when there's only 5 minutes left in the game, every second matters. And with
Fairfield's content with just running the clock out too.
Yeah, a new set of downs Just more times ticking off the clock.
Twins to the right. Fisher. Another play, kept it himself, but he gets tripped up, or maybe just slips before getting to the line of scrimmage. Fairfield takes over, most likely not going to see a pass. The Fisher keep. Tackle behind the line of scrimmage. Mason will burn one of their final 2 timeouts. So Fairfield, there's too much time for them to kneel yet, but if they're able to pick up 1 first down, that would end the game.
Yeah. And the Comet defense on life support right now. I mean, they've got a chance. If they can get a stop here and make a miracle happen on offense, we've seen big plays happen from this team. Kobe Lewis, Saeed Garnett, Bryant Violans, Michael Molnar. The receivers have all made huge plays throughout the season, all seniors. What could be their last game. And a lot of pressure on the sophomore QB, Talon Fisher.
Twins to the left on the 2nd and 12 play. Fairfield just needs 1 first down. There is a flag. It'll be a false start on Fairfield. That'll make that first down a little more difficult to attain.
Yeah, and the Comets catch a break here. Now 2nd and long. Really, it's just bend, don't break. Maybe try to get force a turnover, but you cannot give up any big plays.
Second and 17. Fisher keeps it himself once again. That's what we've seen all plays of this drive. And just like the others, he's swallowed at the line of scrimmage and followed by a Mason. Timeout, 1:40 is on the clock.
And Jake Bates, the junior linebacker, comes downhill there to make the stop. 3rd and long.
Mason's got a good chance now with a couple of defensive stops to get the ball back. It's 3rd and 17 and just under 2 minutes to go. 1:40. The clock management's been pretty good on this drive. What do you expect from Fairfield here coming out?
Well, you cannot turn the ball over here. That's the number one thing. So I think you've got to get it back to your star running back, Jordan Jackson. He's made so many plays in space. Just get him the ball, see what happens.
Twins to the right, no one to the left. Talon Fisher keeps again at another play tackled for a loss. Mason's defensive line steps up and forces a 4th down. 4th and 19 coming up with the clock ticking. They're going to take the clock all the way down until they need to snap it for a punt. Or we might not see a punt. We might see them go for it just because of where they are right now. They're in Mason territory. That's a little too far for a field goal.
Interesting decision if they do decide to run it here instead of punting. You know, you're giving the Comets, if you don't convert the ball at the 38-yard line.
You know, Fairfield didn't bring another team out onto the field, but their punt team is the same exact team as their offense.
And
especially with that quarterback, Talon Fisher's the punter. They take the clock down and take their 2nd time out of the half with 52 seconds on the clock.
So after that delay of game, going to give the Fisher a little bit more space to punt should they choose. Now Fairfield's going to take a timeout. They're 2nd to last of the game.
You've got to make sure you catch the ball first. It's a wet football. You're thinking of everything you need to rush. Make sure you catch it.
And Ben, I tried to do this a little earlier. We had some audio issues. But I just want to say huge thank you to everything you've done for this program under your leadership the past 2 years. We've grown so much, going from audio-only broadcasts to video, doing more than just football and basketball. We couldn't have done it without you. Also shout out to the rest of the seniors. Evan Amazon, Lucas Kleinmeyer, Luke Thomas.
Oh, Andrew, there's a lot of people I have to thank for. It's been a really fun journey. This program has done so much for me. And hopefully this isn't my last football game. Mason's going to get the ball back here, but if it is, I have a lot of thank yous I'd like to mention at the end of the broadcast. A high punt from Talon Fisher, and he got done what he needed to get done. Pinned him inside Mason's 30. No timeouts in 44 seconds for Mason.
Yeah.
You might see a deep shot, and then you might see some laterals.
Last time the Comets were in this situation against Fairfield, they opted for the deep ball with Larson Brown, but their offensive line couldn't hold up. They just got sacked on 2 consecutive plays. It's kind of odd that the 2 times these 2 teams have played, it's been the Comets with the ball at the end of the half with no timeouts, trying to make something happen.
Shotgun snap taken by Larson Brown. He's going to look midfield. Incomplete pass across the middle, intended for Kobe Lewis. 39 seconds now. The clock has stopped. Brings up a 2nd and 10.
There, a nice pass breakup by Bivens. Brown tried to hit Lewis for that, medium distance ball, just to put the Comets in a little bit better position for a Hail Mary pass.
39 seconds, Twins to both sides. Tough shot for Brown. He looks right. They're going to look sideline. Got his receiver, and he will get out of bounds. That's Kobe Lewis. Gets the first down, or no, doesn't get the first down. Runs out just short. But all that matters is he got out of bounds, stopped at 33 seconds.
Now 3rd and 1. The Comets are going to have to balance getting that next set of downs and advancing the ball further down the field. We could see maybe a screen pass here or a safer throw that's going to get out of bounds right away. Just continue. You're probably not close enough yet to make that Hail Mary throw.
They go with the same formation. Wide side to the left side, Larson Brown. Takes the snap. He's looking right. He's got a lot of room. Sideline finds Michael Molnar, the other quarterback, who gets out of bounds. Fairfield fans wanted a flag, but Molnar's able to get it towards midfield.
And for the first time all game, Larson Brown had plenty of time to throw. Was able to be patient and find Molnar, who got some separation. Now the Comets have a new set of downs at the Fairfield 46-yard line. Maybe one more play before you start going for that Hail Mary, but Larson Brown has got to.
There's going to be a flag, and it's going to be a sideline warning on the Fairfield Indians, so no yardage rewarded to the Comets. With 26 seconds to go, 1st and 10 at their own 46-yard line. Larson Brown still in at quarterback. Nick Saylor's in there for extra protection. That's another stoppage, and it's going to be a timeout this time taken by Fairfield with 26 seconds still on the clock.
And this timeout by Fairfield also going to give the Comets some more time to think about what they want to do on these last 30 seconds. It's pretty clear now that they want Larson Brown under center, making that big throw. They've had their receivers out there, Molnar, Garnett, and Lewis. Fairfield's coach clearly not happy with the way his defense was prepared on that play.
So what are you looking for Mason to do? What's the game strategy here? You take a few deep shots. You try to get a couple of plays just 10 yards.
It's going to be hard to take a deep shot. Fairfield's got 4 defensive backs at the 35-yard line.
Twins to both sides. Brown taken back. This time doesn't have as much time to throw across the middle. Will bounce one time before getting to Lewis.
Only 4 seconds came off the clock on that play.
Not the worst case scenario for the Comets for sure.
So still plenty of chances for the Comets to get back on the scoreboard, tie this game up. And this 8-9 game has lived up to the hype, proving how much fun we can have by expanding the playoffs.
22 seconds on the clock, a 2nd and 10 from Mason's own 46. They're down 7. And potentially their last game of the year. Find Saeed Garnett, and a big hit on Saeed Garnett. Mason's got to hurry up. The clock is stopped. The clock is stopped for an equipment timeout. Unfortunately, Saeed Garnett will have to come out of the game. And Jordan Jackson, who had a wonderful game on offense with 3 big touchdowns. The officials will talk it over. This game might be over.
And
they stopped the clock. The line judge did stop the clock. Will most likely give Mason another play.
Yeah, I think there was a miscommunication here between the clock operator and the officials. They signaled for some time. Equipment issues, obviously. Garnett took one of the biggest hits I've seen all year. Helmet flew off. The Comets offense clearly thought they had more time than they did as the clock kept running. We could see an Aaron Rodgers Hail Mary situation where they have one play but no time.
We'll see if Brown's arm is strong enough. There is actually 15 seconds that we put on the clock, so Mason's got a couple shots here.
Wow, 15, and now the clock is starting.
12 seconds, clock's counting. Larson Brown takes the snap. He's got a lot of time, can't find anyone, and is sacked. Mason's got to hurry if they want to get another playoff, and they won't. The Mason Comets fall 28-21. They're eliminated in the first round to GMC rival, the Fairfield Indians, on a couple of big hits to end the game. And a great effort for the Comets, a great effort for Michael Molnar and the other seniors, a great effort for Caden Evans, for Kobe Lewis, does not pay off. The Indians will go on to face Moeller in the second round at Moeller next week. But from tonight, 28-21 is your final. Unfortunately, I know we kind of started this conversation earlier. This will be my last football game called for the Mason Comets. Started this sophomore year and easily became my favorite thing through high school. So many thank yous I have to give out. Not enough, but Mr. Connor. Obviously, Dale Connor has to be the biggest, the supervisor of this great program, someone who's given us so much freedom with leadership along the way. My fellow seniors, Evan Amazon, if you're wondering why he hasn't been here, unfortunately he's out, he's quarantined. So I miss Evan Amazon, and he's been with me the whole way. Luke Thomas, Lucas Kleemeyer, all the other seniors. And this program's in great hands with you, Andrew Little, your brother Adam Little, who's helped me a lot along the way. Savannah Libby, Alyssa Feinblatt, Harper Stoll, Eric Martin, Alex Carlin, Braden Wass, Matt DeBross, Nathan Derrick, so many guys I can trust going down the way. But from tonight, this unfortunately, for the last time in my football broadcasting career, signing off. Mason Comets fall 28-21 to the Fairfield Indians.